What's going on, everybody? Jeff Holiday here, and today I have a rather shocking and aggravating story for you. I have been a little bit slack on the channel, but that's because I have a very ambitious video coming up. But once I saw this story, I had to stop everything and immediately make this video, and you'll see why in just a minute. This is Marisha Dotson, and Marisha, in the summer of 2014, was a college student, and she noticed that there was a dot on her nose. Now, when she went to the doctors, they first said that it seemed to be a small, simple infection. However, it started to grow very, very rapidly. She waited a month, and that's how long it took to be able to get in to see a dermatologist, and she was diagnosed with an aggressive and rare form of skin cancer. Now, the way that they usually deal with these types of skin cancers is they begin to take off layers. They do a slice, they look and see if there's cancer cells, and if they do, they say, take another slice. And over the span of this surgery, she had to be administered, I believe, around 300 anesthetic shots. Because by the time they were done, most of her nose was gone. Now, before I show you this, and I am going to show it to you, this is a little hard to see. Now, following this, reconstructive surgery commenced, where they started using pieces of, as you can see, her forehead and also the cartilage from her ear to try and reconstruct her nose. And that should have been the end of it, even though it was excruciating and terrible, because while she's doing this, she also has to go through radiation therapy. Unfortunately, in 2015, they learned that all of this was for nothing and that the cancer was back. Not only was the cancer back, but it was widespread, and she was given a 20% chance to live if she did not have very, very aggressive surgery done. And thus the surgery was done. They were surgically removed her newly healed reconstructed nose, upper jaw bone, left sinus bone and tissue, septum, 7 teeth, the roof of her mouth, and a hard palate, the nasal floor bone, and the tissue between her gums and mouth. She was left effectively with a giant gap inside of her mouth, and then the roof of her mouth completely exposed all the way up into her sinus. And if I'm cracking a little bit, it's because this is actually pretty gnarly to think about. If you take a deep breath in right now, it goes in and out perfectly fine. But if you have a roof in your mouth that goes all the way up into your nasal cavity without anything to block that, all of the extremely sensitive nerves inside of your sinus are now exposed to even just something as breathing can cause you extreme agony. So the thought of this actually really bothers me. Now, to combat this, she was given a prosthetic called an obturator, which is kind of like a retainer, has false teeth, has a plate, as you can see, that basically covers and protects so that she can breathe, she can talk, she can swallow, she can live a normal life. However, there's a bit of a problem with her obturator. As you will see in this video, her obturator that she was using over the course of this whole situation was cracked.
They glued it back together, and he said it has to be done now. Like, I have to have a new dental prosthetic. I can actually take it out and show you where it's cracked and falling apart. Hold on just a second.
Now, her story gained some traction, and that got the attention of the producers of the TV show The Doctors. And they are a split-off show from the Dr. Phil show, which is another reason why this really attracted my attention. And they decided that they wanted to do something about this, so they brought her to Hollywood.
When our next guest looked into the mirror, she noticed something small, almost insignificant. Little did she know that tiny thing would lead to a fight for her life. Marisha joins us now. Thank you for being with us. And how are you doing today? How's your health?
Today, I'm happy to say I'm about 11 months cancer-free. I'm in remission right now.
And there's a lot more to the story that's kind of going on in the background behind this. And again, there will be relevant links in the description down below, and I'll address those in a minute. But ultimately, on the show, this happens.
all of this facial reconstruction that you need, all free of charge.
I'm just very honored to work with you to help give you your smile back free of charge as well.
This is Joseph Willardsen. He is a dentist over at True Dentistry in Las Vegas. Now, he's been on The Doctors quite a few times, and he basically was saying that, yes, we are going to fix that smile. They're going to have surgeons. They're going to pay for the whole reconstructive surgery. The doctors are going to get the plastic surgeons, but first we need to address your smile. We need to get a proper prosthetic that's going to be fitting properly. We're going to get that going, and then we're going to get you all fixed up. This is happening. All right, great. Except it didn't. What happened from here is a misadventure of garbage, a constant dragging on and dragging out of an inappropriate situation. It's so incredibly frustrating what happened, and I'm going to try and walk you through it as briefly as I can, but this is where I'd like to make mention of this. The attention for this story comes from a young lady who is working with Marisha, and she has made the website marishadotson.com, and on this website is pretty much all of the relevant information that you would need to know more about this situation. I mean, it's everything. And so I really do want to shout that out. If you want to know the full story of this whole tragic situation, please go and read the website. And as well, I have a viral video that just blew up on Reddit, which is how I found out about this, linked in the description as well. And yeah, it covers a lot more than I'm going to today. I just want to introduce you to this story. Now let's reiterate real quick. Back in front of the audience, Dr. Orden describes the surgeries that Marisha needs. Tissue can be brought in to create a protective lining inside her nose and mouth, and he says the cosmetic aspects need to be addressed as well. Marisha needs reconstructive work on her nose, including correcting a dime-sized hole where her left nostril used to be, and improving the appearance of her upper lip, which surgery has resulted in being tethered. It's doable, Dr. Orden says. Not only that, but he says the show reached out to Anson Edwards and Higgins Plastic Surgery Group in Las Vegas, and they're willing to provide you all of this facial reconstruction that you need, all free of charge. Dr. Stork will also surprise Marisha with 10 free counseling sessions from Doctor On Demand. But before that, he references Marisha's problems with eating and drinking, and the connection between her nasal passages and the roof of her mouth and her teeth. We've reached out to cosmetic dentist Joe Willardsen, he says, and he has something he'd like to say to you as well. The camera pans to Dr. Willardsen. I'm very honored to help give you your smile back, free of charge as well, he says. He, along with the oral surgeons and the plastic surgeons, are going to make her beautiful. So basically, before they could do any of the major reconstructive facial surgeries that she's going to need to basically give her quality of life again, she's going to need to go and get the dentistry stuff all fixed up. The cosmetic dentistry. She's going to need a new obturator. And in fact, she's going to need a series of obturators that will be different shapes and sizes as it slowly molds her mouth into what they need it to be for the surgery. And a month after the show, they fly her out to Las Vegas, and she goes and she meets with the Dr. Joe Willardsen. Seems like everything's going fine, right? Well, starting out right at the beginning, she's staying at the Treasure Island Hotel Casino Resort, which is a well-known casino that has smoke inhalation all over the place. And if you think it's bad enough breathing somebody's secondhand smoke, imagine what it's like when, I don't know, you have no natural filtration system anymore for your breathing, and it goes straightened up into your goddamn sinuses. As such, she had to wear a protective mask like this most of the time. And furthermore, this visit, because of the smoke inhalation, net her a sinus infection that was so severe she had to have surgery, costing her $20,000. Keep in mind, this is a young woman whose entire life was devastated by this cancer diagnosis and the resulting surgeries that had to be done, chopping up her face to save her damn life. She doesn't have any money. She has a tiny disability check. $20,000 now, on top of the thousands and thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars now in the surgery costs alone. But I digress. Maybe that's just a mistake. Maybe that's just an accident. Maybe we can't really levy that on somebody else. But it doesn't say it doesn't get worse, because it does. So she goes to the appointment, and this is what happens. The surgeons are uncertain the reconstructive surgery promised on the show will be feasible. They consult with Dr. Willardsen and all agree that the treatment plan should be a series of obturators with the goal of steadily pushing back the alignment of Marisha's top teeth. The hope, they tell Marisha, is that slowly allowing the lip muscle to have more room to relax downwards over time will give the surgeons enough room for surgical reconstruction. The obturator, the surgeons write in their notes, is the obvious first step, and they say they will help Dr. Willardsen with whatever he needs. Dr. Willardsen says he will provide the necessary series of obturators. He tells Marisha that the entire process, meaning the full series of obturators, might take around a year. The whole process. All of the obturators. Plural. Keep that in mind. But promise that they'll get through it together. Dr. Willardsen says he will even throw in straightening Marisha's bottom teeth a little since they've shifted because she can't wear a bottom retainer. Dr. Willardsen takes digital impressions of her mouth, which will be used to make the first obturator, which Marisha is told will be ready in a matter of weeks. Now keep in mind, this is roughly September of 2017. What follows is an extremely long, protracted series of promises made by the PR agent for Joe Willardsen, over and over promising that something is going to be done and nothing ever happening. The details of which are both in the video that I've linked down below and on the website. But we're going to look at a couple of really important dates here. What follows is a series of text messages between Christine Mango, the PR person for Dr. Joe, and Marisha. Christine: "Hey princess, just got off the phone with Dr. Joe, and we decided to move forward regardless of what the show is doing. Can we chat tomorrow? I'm not upset, and I don't want to be a bother. I just needed to know what direction things are in because my gums can't heal and what the time frame is looking like. I spoke with Dr. Joe earlier about this. Your prosthetic is ready. Mackenzie has been working on your travel arrangements. There's one little surprise I'll be able to share tomorrow. Can we talk around 4 p.m. PST? You call me. Dr. Joe will make this happen no matter what. The prosthetic is complete. He was waiting on the little surprise. He's calling little surprise person tomorrow because he wants to get you fitted and comfortable. Trust me, look forward to your call tomorrow. That's the load off. I can't wait. Yay! Do you have any plans early April that will interfere with the Vegas trip?" And she did call her the next day, but instead of detailing out when she's going to be able to pick up her prosthetic or go to Vegas again, Christine Mango apparently was complaining about her braces. It's an odd thing. I'd rather you just read the website to get the full scoop on it. But safe to say, her prosthetic was never delivered, and she was actually never brought back to Las Vegas. Ever. Instead, she continually tried to get a hold of them and say, hey, what's going on with this? Hey, what is happening? And remember, her obturator that she's using is cracked and falling apart. August 13th of 2018. Hey there, apparently the lab Dr. Joe found that makes obturators pulled out, so we found another lab today in Utah. It's very specialized and expensive, but Dr. Joe will pay for it. There are very few dental labs in the country that make them, and the few that do will only make them for their clients because they want repeat business. The lab is making an exception for us. Of course, Dr. Joe will be adding the veneers and fitting you for the obturator. So we go from February 20th of that year, your prosthetic is ready. She says the prosthetic is ready. And then to August 13th, well, we found a new lab to make your prosthetic. Well, what happened to the one that was made? Where did it go? Why wasn't it ever delivered? Was it even made to begin with? Or did they just lie? Nobody really knows. But then, on September 20th, frustrated, Marisha posts to Facebook. To reiterate, a year ago, the doctor's TV show and sponsors made a bunch of promises, got my hopes up for nothing, and used my real-life painful story to their own agenda without a care to how I feel. The sponsors have done nothing. The interim obturator is being funded by my community of people who want me to have basic life functions. I'm very ashamed of how the doctor's TV show and its sponsors have handled this. Direct quote from a website over a year ago. Following a consultation with plastic surgeon Dr. Andrew Orden, he determines that while her case is challenging, there is hope to achieve a look she will be happier with. The doctors reached out to Anson Edwards and Higgins Plastic Surgery Associates in Las Vegas, who have offered to provide her facial reconstructing surgery for free. Additionally, cosmetic dentist Dr. Joe Willardsen has offered her a new smile, also free of charge. And this is where you get mad. This is where you get real mad because, well, Christine Mango, PR manager for Dr. Joe, called her and left her this really nice voicemail message. Listen to this thing.
Hey, Marisha, it's Christine Mango calling. Please give me a call back as soon as possible. We have all seen your very nasty post on Facebook, and the team of 15 people that are helping you are very disappointed, and I need to discuss this with you. So give me a ring. I hope your prosthesis nose is working out for you, you know, the one that Scott did for free, and everybody else that has worked on your case. I'm just astonished by what you wrote. Astonished. So give me a call so we can discuss. All right, bye.
Now, I hope you heard that subtle little dig in there. What was it again?
I hope your prosthesis nose is working out for you, you know, the one that Scott did for free.
Yeah, no, see, it wasn't a free nose prosthetic. Actually, the person, Scott Fiscus, who did her nose, filed with her insurance, and she paid the remaining balance. None of it was free. Sorry, Mango. Now, since then, she has gotten some voicemail messages and emails from people who specifically want to talk with her on the phone, but Marisha refuses to do so. She wants to have an actual digital record of her her conversations with these people, and I don't blame her. I really honestly don't. Many more promises have been made, and ultimately they have been broken. Damn near everything that they have said that they would do for her, they have not. And in fact, kind of treated her rather dismissively and pretty shitty. Now, if you think that's the end of this, you'd be gravely mistaken. You see, Dr. Joe Willardsen is actually he's not qualified to even make an obturator. He's not. He's just a dentist. To be able to make a prosthetic like that, well, you need to be more than just a dentist. You need to be a prosthodontist, which requires many more years in school past just basic dental school. Like, you need to be a very specialized person to make these types of things. So he was basically trying to license this out, but according to the lab that they were working through, they didn't even get the base tray until September of 2018. Now, that, again, is damn near 7 months after they already said that the prosthetic was done. February 20th, your prosthetic is ready. And then only the very basic beginning steps were even attempted until September, 7 months later. This is goddamn hideous. But it gets even weirder than that. You see, Dr. Joe Willardsen from True Dentistry in Las Vegas, Nevada, apparently is going into a bit of damage control. I wonder why. For instance, if you Google True Dentistry, Joe Willardsen, oh, okay, got truedentistry.com, their website, okay. But if you go down here to their Facebook page, their places page, well, that's interesting. Well, look at that. It appears to be gone. I wonder why. Furthermore, oddly enough, the doctors, well, their YouTube channel doesn't really have the clips anymore from Marisha Dotson. If we look at Dotson, well, no, nothing for Dotson. What about Marisha? Pimple popping nails. Can you break a rib from coughing too hard? And can you save leftover cosmetic filler? Even when I looked for what it originally was titled, which was Cancer Ate My Nose, Cancer Nose, we start looking through this, and sure, there's people who definitely had some issues with cancer, ate their nose, all sorts of gross, gnarly stuff. But further you go, further you realize that, yeah, Marisha Dotson's appearance has apparently been completely scrubbed from the doctors. I wonder why that could be. Predominantly the fault of this lies with Joe Willardsen And it's odd that he nuked his Facebook page. A lot of times when people do that, it's because they can tell that there's a controversy brewing, and they want to try and make sure they don't get really negative reviews. Well, I mean, that'd be fine, except he does still have a Yelp page. There's still Google reviews. You know, I don't know if you guys really thought this one through, but I digress. This is what I think should happen. This is 100% what I think should happen. First and foremost, the doctor's television show needs to address this. They need to, because promises are made on their show. They took ownership of this situation and said that something was going to happen. And I'm sure this is going to be an uncomfortable situation for them, and it's an uncomfortable situation for Marisha, but it's now their responsibility. That's kind of how this works, and they need to step up to the plate. They need to address it, and then they need to fix it. And there is something actually that you can do. You see, celebrities bow to pressure. They just do. They always have, and they always will. Well, Travis Stork here, he's the main host for the Doctors. He's got a handy Twitter page. I'm sure maybe he can provide some answers, or at least get with the production staff to maybe help address this, because it really needs to be. I mean, come on, Dr. Stork, help us out. Help us out a little bit. The internet's pretty pissed off, and they're probably going to get more pissed off. As well, in the interim, there is a GoFundMe page. The link is in the description to try and basically at least get her some of the help that she needs in the interim until hopefully these promises that were made to her can get fulfilled. Because, I mean, it's not our responsibility to fix this at this point. It's the doctors and the people who were working with the doctors to fix it. But if you do have a little bit extra that maybe in the interim she could get a new obturator, you know, by all means, the link is there. And that's basically catching us up to where we are at right now. I've been talking with Marisha. I've been talking with her webmaster all day today to make sure that I deal with this as respectfully as I possibly can, because you have to keep in mind something that I've come to understand watching these videos, watching Marisha's own YouTube channel today, is that she's a very kind, very humble, very shy person. And it took a lot of bravery for her to go on national television in front of a lot of people, but it also was a matter of desperation because, you know, she can't live a normal life without these important surgeries. So I wanted to do the best that I could to try and help out as well. That being the case, I can only hope that the people who have the power to make this right do make this right. I am very, very happy that this blew up enough that it got my attention. I'm doing my part, and I hope it goes further. So by all means, if you have a voice that is loud enough for people to hear, I hope that you will consider sharing Marisha's story, sharing the video that I have linked in the description, that has gone viral on Reddit, and yeah, just maybe keep her in your thoughts. She seems like a very sweet lady. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Keep your eyes glued onto the channel. My very ambitious Hemlock Moon Wolf video will be coming out rather soon. Also, there will be a Wingnut Roundup this week in just a few days. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll send January off with a celebration. It'll be fun. It'll be great. And from my family to yours, I hope you're well. See you next time. Bye-bye.